Okay, so we just got done with week 5, and yes, we're at the point where there are no undefeated teams left in the season. And I used the title already, but like actually, I don't know who's good anymore. I really don't. I have 0 Super Bowl favorites right now, and everything is just all over the place, so... And there'll be another Raider rant. Without further ado, let's just get right into the video. This is coaching. We're at this part of the season where a ton of teams are getting tormented by injuries, and the 49ers, besides the Ravens, have been ravaged more than almost anyone. They rolled out there with fucking Lamar Jones, Demarcus Robinson, and McCaffrey's stunt double for all his nude photo shoots, and took it to the Rams. Like, I couldn't tell you what the Rams' defensive scheme was in the first quarter specifically, but the Niners came out, punched them in the face 8 times as hard as they can, got them off balance, and, you know, that was the difference in this game. It was pathetic. 14-0 Niners with Kendrick Bourne and Demarcus Robinson, while the Rams had negative passing yards. Finally, though, Matthew Stafford and the offense got going. It took some damn time, but Adams and Puka are good at football, and from here on out, this was a Stafford-Mac Jones shootout, and Mac Jones specifically has just been amazing for the Niners this year. He's literally been like prime Jimmy Garoppolo for them, and that's a compliment. I mean, he almost won a Super Bowl with them, and it just makes me think, like, Mac Jones so far this year, who's averaging 2 touchdowns and 301 yards per game, I mean, what would have happened if the Niners took him back in the day instead of Trey Lance? Because it seemed like they were very interested in him. It's all good, though. I mean, this is a good fight from a bad team on paper, but the Rams overwhelmingly have the talent advantage, and you have to fucking catch that, Kyron. Come on, bro. Are you serious? And they missed the field! So, after the Niners' backup kicker hit a 60-yarder because reasons, Stafford had a chance to go win this game. Like, basically every Rams game so far this season. They're basically like, hey, Stafford, we fucked up for 3.5 quarters, go fix it. And he did, again. Guys, with these older quarterbacks too, just don't take them for advantage, okay? We only have a handful of these vintage Stafford performances left, but this was one of the most
Williams, can he get in? They signal that he, with the ball coming out.
This is the running back you just paid? You just gave him the bag and he fucking just completely pissed this game away? There's no point in even getting mad, because honestly, with the Seahawks losing, the Cardinals losing, and the Rams losing, and the Niners winning, even though they're not healthy, and they will be healthy later on in the season, Bosa's gone, but like they'll get more pieces. The Niners have basically like clinched the division unless they completely collapse, which they have been known to do. It's just, the Rams cannot lose a game like this. This is fucking inexcusable on all levels. Coaching malpractice. How can you not have your team prepared to just beat down a garbage-ass team that you need to win if you want a home playoff game? I made the executive decision to, again, sleep instead of watching the Cleveland Browns at 6 a.m. for existential reasons, but I hope you all understand. Again, though, this is my job, and I did watch the condensed game in a better state of mind, and I have things to say. First of all, this fucking team hasn't broken 20 points all season. In an era where teams are averaging near 30, this is just unacceptable. And I get that Flacco's been Flacco, but that's just not okay. And this whole game was weird, too. Like, the announcers were not in it. They subbed out Rich Eisen for Jonathan fucking Vilma, Mr. Bountygate over here, who literally just says things that come to his brain with no logic whatsoever. Like, no, man. Carson Wentz did not play for the 49ers. What are you on about? Anyways, the Vikings didn't have Jordan Addison for most of it because he got caught huffing nos in the locker room or something. I don't know. And they also missed a 51-yard field goal because it literally hit the camera wire. But the story of the game was Dillon Gabriel's debut. And it was really great, honestly. Like, I feel like a lot of people should be giving Dillon way more props because, remember, Brian Flores just bent Jake Browning over and shoved a metal rod in his rectum. Against Dillon Gabriel, in his first start, they didn't really force him to make any mistakes. He played boring but efficient football, and he put the Browns in a position to win this game. Until Kevin Stefanski understood the greater assignment and just decided to throw the game at the end. Like, run one play action at least, man. Trust your quarterback to complete a 4-yard dump-off or just fall on the floor. Whatever, they have an elite defense. Quinton Judkins and the offense did enough, and all you need is your defense to shut down 2025 Carson Wentz and basically just Justin Jefferson, and oh my god, he mossed the hell out of Denzel. Okay, well, oh shit, apparently Jordan Addison's out of O'Connell's doghouse now, and oh, he just scored a touchdown. That's the fucking game. It's weird because at the same time, like, I think this is not very good for the Vikings. Like, this didn't look like a game between two solid teams. Both of these teams looked to be on even level. Maybe the Browns were playing better than usual and the Vikings were playing worse than usual. It's just the Vikings need a good quarterback, and I'm worried that J.J. McCarthy isn't that, and obviously Carson Wentz is not. So they have a lot to work on, like a lot. This team is not keeping up with Detroit, but the first Detroit game will be very interesting. Let's talk. Baltimore fans, you listening? Because, let's agree to disagree that this game did not even take place, okay? This was a tragedy to watch. But here's the thing. Yes, Kyle Hamilton is out. Chidobe Awuzie is out. Roquan, Marlowe, Nnamdi, and Lamar Jackson are all out plus more. But this is coaching. The Ravens have had injuries before. Like, the Niners have damn near more injuries, too, and they just played the Rams. The Ravens played the fucking Texans, who almost lost to the Titans last week, and have had a bottom 5 offense all year, and they scored 40 points on them. Fucking 40. I mean, this is the worst Ravens loss I've ever seen in my lifetime. And I don't speak in hyperbole. Remember, I did a whole Ravens documentary. I remember their inaugural season in the league damn near. And this isn't for dramatic effect, I swear. I can't remember a worse Ravens loss with my own 2 eyes. Through 5 games, they've allowed more points than anyone and the second most points in the league. And I'm sure you've heard this stat already. It's just depressing. But through 5 games, the Ravens have allowed more points than they did during the entire 2000 season. And if this keeps up, they're on pace to allow 600 plus points on the year and shatter the all-time record. Somewhere Ray Lewis just fell to his knees. This just isn't Ravens football, and something has to change, because this is not an explosive or good Texans offense in the slightest. And this wasn't a game for even a fucking second. Fix this shit, Baltimore. The Super Bowl favorites better not go down in week 5. This can't happen. It just can't. So, see you next week versus the Rams, and this will be the true test to prove why the Niners have made 2 Super Bowls, and you guys haven't even come fucking close. Your culture's shit. Lamar carried your ass for too long, and you're suffering the consequences.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
This week, on Days of Our Raiders. Yep, we're doing this. A week after a comical loss to the worst defense in football, where our holy tank commander Geno Smith tossed 3 near unwatchable interceptions, the Raiders now look ahead to face the Indianapolis Colts. A game that would be announced by 8-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Mark Sanchez. Or it was until he chased a man drunkenly and got stabbed multiple times. And so the game began. Nay, the theatrical performance between the most disappointing team in football and the most surprising. A culture of positive vibes, redemption, and hope versus one of constant nihilism. And the game began with a Colts kickoff return for a touchdown. Luckily, though, Ref Ball decided to intervene and prevented this embarrassment. Until our punt got blocked, our best player got fucking carted off the field, and the Colts scored anyways. Nothing our watertight core of talent can't handle. A little adversity never scared us off a potential win, and we fought back valiantly. We started stringing together a few positive plays, the best coming when Geno Smith saw into the future, the greater vision was cleared to him, and he threw a beautifully crafted interception. While before the half, we decided to gracefully, on 3rd and long, allow the Colts to go down the field and score one more time off an incredible pass interference call. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Sorry, that was extremely short-sighted of me, because before the half, we got into... fuck that, I'm not doing that. Before the half, we got into field position again. We missed the kick. Started the half by Geno missing a wide-open man on 3rd down. Carlson punted, and at this point, they took away the fucking scoreboard to hide this embarrassment. And then, Geno threw to a double-teamed man on a hitch for a pick, and the Colts... I shit you not, this happened. This is real, 100%, okay? They brought in Amir Abdullah. Amir Abdullah. The man who single-handedly ruined our tank last year, and he got his first carry of the season and punched it in for... Apologies, I broke character there, but that'll do it. Tune in next week on How Long Can I Do This Before My Psyche Becomes a Case Study for the Emotional Pain Limit of Humans in Sports. And next week we got the fucking Tennessee Titans. I've never been more confused by any team in my life, I think. It's just so hilarious, because Philly's fan base is treating this team like they're 0-5, and I get it, because it's just so funny. It's like Kevin Patullo this week was like, huh? You want us to pass the ball? Huh, Philly fans? Okay, we'll fucking throw it. Saquon's only getting 6 carries then. Fuck you. And when they needed to run the ball, they just kept airing it out. And I understand to some extent how this sounds hypocritical, but it's just about having a balanced and good offense. I do think to some extent the play calling was improved. I mean, it had to be, or else A.J. Brown's tweets would just be getting more edgy by the week, but he literally stopped on his own route on a free touchdown. So, like, who else can you blame, bro? Meanwhile, Denver has just been the same team, more or less. Bo Nix is consistently inconsistent. They had so many penalties and some overthrows as always. They just don't look like a disciplined team still, but in the end, they did enough. The offense got things together and pulled away, and a Zach Bond interesting, unnecessary roughness penalty put the dagger in their hearts, and they lost. It's just like the Eagles had the lead. They had this game won. The Eagles team of last year would have finished this game 10 times out of 10, but I don't know. It is still early. Hopefully they'll figure stuff out. Kevin Petulu just needs to, like, you know, use his fucking cranium. That's really all that it takes. That's it. For those of you amazing and incredible people who've been watching me since week 1 of this season, you're probably aware that I'm out of energy to scream at the Dolphins. However, I had a script ready to praise them. To me, this was the game I was locked in on second most, probably, from the early games, because this was the game where I thought if Bryce Young didn't play well, he'd probably be benched. And he looked cheeks. I mean, he literally dropped the ball earlier and threw another terrible pick. And at 17-0, with Darren Waller having fucking near 100 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter, this game was so over. But at least Carolina had a good week of practice, so everything's fine. It's all good vibes. But then Dave Canales said, "You know what, Bryce? We're taking the ball out of your hands. I've seen quite enough." And they gave it to Rico Dowdle. And he just ravaged the Dolphins. Rico Dowdle. And then the Dolphins just blew it. They blew the game entirely. For this entire contest, they got outrushed 239 to 19. To the Dolphins' credit, though, they are bad. So that's not really credit, but you know what I mean. So this isn't entirely out of character, and they put up some fight after fucking collapsing. So again, clap it up for the boys, and they were in a position to do something, just like the Bills game, just like the Patriots game, and game on the line with what quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes have constantly done this season. And I hate to do this because Tua did play solid overall, but again, game on the line. What did he do? He airmailed a pass to Waddle, which he had to break up to prevent a pick, got sacked, and then the game ended. I mean, this is like either a negative game or a positive game, because on the surface, this game has zero playoff implications, but both teams have no direction whatsoever and no future for this season. It's just, you know, it was entertaining from an outside perspective, but damn it, man, this has just been such a disappointing year for both these teams, and Bryce Young really disappointed me in this game specifically. He was awful out there.
In all the days I've lived, no good thing has ever happened to me.
At least some things stay the same, huh? The Jets are a bottom 5 team, and that just feels right. I mean, the Cowboys just used them in this game. To be fair, Dallas is a lot better than the record says, and Dak Prescott has legitimately been an MVP candidate. Again, which is just so impressive. I mean, for him to come back from injuries multiple times and have multiple different MVP caliber seasons, potentially, is just crazy. He had 4 touchdowns, another masterclass efficiency performance, orchestrated 2 90-plus yard touchdown drives, and did this all, again, still without CeeDee Lamb, and missing 3 of his 5 linemen. This was just impressive from the Cowboys offense. And Schottenheimer has also really surprised me this season, especially after that stinker in the season opener. As for the Jets, yeah, turns out when you have 13 missed tackles at halftime, 10 penalties in the game, and you allow the Cowboys to have 150 plus yards of explosive plays while you only have 50, yeah, you're not going to win. But congratulations on becoming the first team since 1933 to not force a takeaway in the first 5 weeks. So just clap it up for them, I guess. I don't know, man. This team sucks. They have no culture. It's going to be the same thing every week. They have zero future, and hopefully they can get a good pick and see what quarterback is available in the draft, because Justin Fields is fine, but his first read percentages are always going to hold him back throughout his career, and they need help. And they just have too much talent on defense to be this consistently terrible. I don't understand. It's literally not coaching. It's just straight up a personnel problem and an effort issue. Well, it was a good start, I guess. The Giants went down and scored 2 touchdowns in the beginning of this game that pretty much no one was watching, and then had 5 turnovers and pissed the game away. But I know it's only week 5, but don't get things fucked up, okay? This was a tank bowl, through and through. It's just funny, because these teams look pretty incompetent for a lot of it in terms of talent. But I gotta be honest with you, I know it's the Saints and nobody cares about them, but Kellen Moore's done a hell of a job so far, especially with Spencer Rattler. Like, do you know how untalented this roster is? And yet they've been pretty competitive in most games. Ignore the, Seahawks game, but I mean, before this game, Spencer Rattler was a quarterback who didn't have a win in his NFL career. And last season, he was a guy who was just finishing the year for the Saints after Derek Carr went down, and now he looks like a guy who, at the very least, will have a job in the NFL for the next decade. So, great work for both of them and the whole Saints staff on that. However, they are still bad. Yes, they won the game, but, touchdowns that were a little bit fluky happened, and the Giants are absolutely terrible. Brian Daboll is going to be fired at some point this season. It's just, like, this was a game that he needed to win. If you can't win this game, and the players aren't really believing, the defense isn't playing hard, the offense is broken, why is he still there? He's just a relic of a past era that was also a fucking failure. Did we all just watch the same thing? Like, I have no words. Thank you, Arizona. And honestly, Tennessee, too. Thank you guys for keeping my passion for this stupid fucking brown ball sport alive. Whew, okay, where do we even begin? So, the Cardinals were out playing the Titans. The Tennessee Titans are the worst team in professional football, and it's not close. Yes, the Cardinals are also bottom 10. They have zero strength whatsoever as well, but it was a blowout in the first quarter, and the Cardinals were doing this with a shit offensive scheme and like the 2021 Jets backfield, and it was over. Amari DiMercato ripped off a game-winning run, and freeze, right here. Right at this moment, the Cardinals had a 99.9999999% chance to win this game, and it fucking happened again. I mean, why does this ever happen? I don't understand. I mean, I'm assuming most of you out there have, like, held a football at some point. You keep it right here. Is it really hard to just hold it in your hands until you pass the goal? There's no point, because after this moment took place, the game was outside of the hands of mere mortals. The football gods were in control of this game, and what we got from here was a comedic masterclass. The Titans, with the worst coaching staff in football, came into Arizona, who had 10 days to prepare for the worst team maybe of the last 10 fucking years, and blew it. The Titans went down the field, and now Cam Ward was just in trouble. Yes, this was a funny game. Couldn't fucking tell you why the Cardinals decided to stop doing things on offense. We'll get there. But Cam Ward rolls out. The ball is, and stick with me here, deflected, picked off, fumbled, and then reverse holy rollered into the end zone. Touchdown, Tyler Lockett of all people, who's tortured Arizona for years. Man, this is good stuff. And how did the Cardinals answer? 3 and out. Conservative play calling. My lord, at this point it was over. I knew the Titans were going to score, but then it hit me. What if Kyler and McBride and Marv are all being held back by this staff? What if their talent is overcoming how shit this coaching staff is? And because this Cardinals work culture is toxic as shit. They have nothing to work with. They have no winning culture. Their schemes are awful. They're 27th in explosive pass percentage, so they're not getting any big plays. 24th in DVOA, and they couldn't buy any points in the second half, and it's just, I can't believe that the Cardinals... They lost this game. I mean, this is one of the worst losses I've ever seen in my life, and no one's gonna care because it's the fucking Cardinals and the Titans. Like, yeah, I guess this game isn't gonna matter from a playoff standpoint because none of these teams are even getting remotely close, but it's just funny. And it's also even funnier for the Titans because this means that Callahan's gonna keep his job for another week, so... Again, it feels like it's happened with every game this week, but this is a lose-lose, clearly. But I guess it's not entirely a lose-lose, because for Cam Ward and the Titans, this is a good morale booster, so they'll take that. Hey, I'll take at least one shootout this week. It's been a weird week, but a good week overall, I think. Like, the games have been fun from, like, a narrative perspective, but this one was just straight-up entertainment. There was zero defense this game, especially in the second half. I don't know how the Buccaneers keep getting away with this. Like, if this team had a lesser quarterback than Baker and a lesser coach than Todd Bowles, this team might be 0-5, which is crazy, by the way. But both of those dudes' redemption arcs have been wild, but this was a shootout. And the Seahawks looked like they had this game in the duffel. It was 4th and 2, and Clint Kubiak, who's been transforming into an amazing offensive coordinator, has been chefing up a storm with his schemes, and he got them to this point, and Sam Darnold got them a touchdown, only for Baker Mayfield to answer right back, and we were still in the thick of it. It's just so funny, because just a few seasons ago, both Darnold and Baker were throwaways in the Panthers, and now they've both been like top 5 QBs, and Baker in particular has been top 5, but the Seahawks were still in control of this game until...
Pressure, here's the pressure. Winfield, hey, he throws an interception. It's picked off.
Yeah, Darnold's probably going to beat himself up for that one, but honestly, not entirely his fault. You know, if it bounces off a helmet, what are you going to do? But this is just another devastating loss for the Seahawks. This is pretty similar to the Niners game. They keep coming so close, but they're just not there. They made a few mistakes. The Milroe fumble was rough, but honestly, overall, solid offensive performance. And for the Buccaneers, it's just... I keep saying this isn't sustainable, but they keep doing it. So I guess fuck it. Baker Mayfield's just the MVP.
Stop! He's already dead.
Anyone remember when the Chargers were 3-0? Me neither, I think. Maybe. It's just hilarious. I'm sorry. I gotta have some enjoyment as a Raider fan, but I told you also. Never ever believe in the Chargers, okay? There's just always going to be some intangible reason they will suck. Their offensive line was like the best in the league, and now with all the injuries, it's bottom 5. I mean, Herbert can't even like drop back for more than a second. It's crazy. And the Commanders' defense looked legitimately great versus the Chargers because of how injured they are, basically. It was... honestly a game in which the Commanders were in control for all of it, and Jaden Daniels didn't have to do anything. Like, they would have comfortably won this game with Mariota. Bill played great, ignoring the fumble, and the Commanders had 27 unanswered points. Just unacceptable. The Chargers need to get healthy. That's all you can really say. This is a very good team when they're healthy. They're just not right now. And with the Chiefs and the Broncos in your division, and the Raiders, we're going to the Super Bowl, you can't afford to lose games like this, especially in this convincing fashion. So... I don't know. I'm not saying I'm rooting for you to get healthy, but if you want to win something, it's got to happen. This was annihilation. Ignore the score. Fucking Jake Browning is shit. I don't know what else to say. I mean, they sort of just came back because Ja'Marr Chase is a monster and Jake Browning can throw it to a wide open man sometimes, but Jared Goff and the Lions offense have just been... After that first game where people started panicking, being like, oh, what are they going to do without Ben Johnson? They started popping off. And this team just, again, like, I wasn't super worried. They have so much talent that they can't really be that bad, but this was just, the Bengals are a get-right team, which, you know, they didn't need to get right. They had already been right, but the Lions are, at this point, given how the Packers have stumbled for 2 weeks in a row now, I think they're the team to beat in the NFC. What the fuck? Are you serious, Buffalo? Like, look, first of all, I was confused why the Patriots were even on prime time, but damn it, they proved me wrong. This was a fun game. Not in the first half, though, because nothing absolutely happened. I mean, Sunday Night Football as a whole has been extremely hit or miss. Like, we got the Falcons-Vikings game, which was atrocious, but Bills-Ravens is already the game of the season, and I don't think that can be topped. But the Bills and the Patriots were going back and forth in the second half. This was a very, very, very good performance by the Patriots defense, too. And they are a completely different team when Christian Gonzalez is out there, and their pass rush has been amazing this season. So they were containing Josh Allen better than any team has so far this season. And that left Allen and May to just go blow for blow. And with the game tied 20-20, Drake May making amazing plays all night, with primetime football and all the lights on him, what did he do? He went right down the field. I mean, that play where he avoided the sack was just crazy. And he also stayed in bounds at the end of the game to keep the clock running. And right down the middle, the Patriots kicked a game-winning field goal. And just like that, there are no undefeated teams left in the NFL. In Week 5, Drake May went 13 for 14 in the second half, and the Bills have fallen. Just an incredible game for the Patriots. Really, this was like the biggest Patriots win of the last, 2 or 3 years, if not 4. It was great to see. Drake May is that dude for those of you who aren't familiar with his game, and he's doing all that with Stephon Diggs, who, yes, played better than usual because of the revenge factor, but still, amazing win for the Patriots, and they're one game back from the division, technically.